Oh, the leopards in the tree are keeping us thoroughly entertained, almost as much as if we were walking to find some lions, I suppose. I'm just trying to see if Xongile is coming back for revenge. She was lying where Hosana's lying. Yeah, she is too. She is too. She's going to do the same thing to him. He just did this. Oh, no, she's not. She was lying where Hosana's lying, and he walked up to her, put his paw on her bottom, and pushed her off. And she dangled for a moment precariously, then jumped and smacked her face into the marula branch. I don't think she was terribly impressed with life. And if I hadn't seen her do the exact same thing to Hosana, I might have been taken in by that look of injured innocence on her face. But I have seen her do the same thing to Hosana. Remember when he had that limp and he tried to jump up into the tree and failed, and she just walked up to him and pushed his paws off? Well, revenge is best served cold, Xongile. There you go. See, there's plenty of room in this tree for both of you. There's no need to fight. Admittedly, Hosana does have the best spot. Something else has caught their attention. I'm still waiting for these lions just to pop out here. I have a feeling, it would be the way our luck runs. Now they're both focused. What do you see? Nothing. Okay. I actually think the walking team, if the lions are flat and not moving towards us, I actually think the walking team are the only people who are going to be able to get there, just because of how wet it is. Now, Aurora, you are looking at the champion of falling out of trees. I think I have seen, and I'm talking about Hosana, not myself, although I do it quite well as well. I've seen Hosana fall out of more trees than I can actually count or remember. And you want to know if the leopards ever fall out of trees when they're asleep. Occasionally, very occasionally. Most of the time, though, they're quite well balanced with their paws on either side and their tail draped. And you can see Hosana's got his hooked over a branch. It does happen. Sometimes they are so deeply asleep they yawn, roll over, and fall out. It's very unusual, and leopards are usually quite good at landing on their feet. Not always. Sometimes they actually can injure themselves. But for the most part, they're pretty good at sleeping in the tree. That's what they have evolved to do. I saw Xongile fall off the bush dinner site the other day. Just while she was fast asleep, she just rolled over and smacked herself. But it does occasionally occur. Mostly when they're young as well, because of course they're still building up those skills. Hosana, I say Hosana's the master of falling out of trees. That's because he takes risks. That's what he has to do as a young leopard. Practice and learn his limits. Like a baby monkey. They also fall out occasionally. Where's your mum? I wonder how far she's walked last night while you've been lazing about in trees. They're both quite itchy. I noticed that yesterday as well. I think the plenty of water has caused an explosion of ticks. We'll ask Steph on his walk. I'm sure he is already covered. Kathy, you want to know what is the highest distance they can fall and land safely? I would guess, and it is a guess, at around about 45, 50 feet. It would not be... Sorry, guys, I'm distracted, but there's so much happening this morning on the Game Drive radio. It's how we all communicate with each other. And I'm just listening to the updates. It's very important that I know what's going on, otherwise we could miss something, and that would be tragic. And the update is that it sounds as though the Nkumas have crossed. Well, I mean, obviously they've crossed, we just saw two of them, but I want to know whether or not it's the rest of the pride as well. Oh, what was I talking about? The height that they can fall out of a tree. I would go further to guess at the fact that I think it's probably better, or a lighter leopard could fall from a higher distance and land comfortably just because they don't have the same mass. So the impact is not as hard. There's some amazing footage of Anderson trying to hoist something. I can't remember what he was doing. The Anderson male is a very big male leopard, and he fell out of a tree. He must have been about 30 feet up. He's fine, but I'm sure it hurt because it didn't look like he landed on his feet. It looked like he might have landed on his side. But I honestly don't know exactly what the distance is. You'll probably find they're like children and adults as well. Kids seem to bounce. Our leopards have a gift of looking comfortable in the most uncomfortable of positions. And we have a question about whether or not the trees in which they sleep are comfortable to sleep in. And Cedar Point, no. I personally don't think so. I've tried sleeping like a leopard in a marula tree, and I have to tell you that it wasn't very comfortable at all. But then I'm not a leopard, and I don't have a nice soft layer of fur covering me. So maybe it's more comfortable if you're a leopard and shaped like a leopard. They certainly will not go and lie in a thorn tree. They do have certain trees that they like to sit in, marula trees especially, because they tend to have A, no thorns, and B, these nice horizontal branches that they can lie in. Does your sister not want to play, Hosana? I think she does. I think she's just playing coy. Don't eat the marula leaves. They're yucky. They're not for you, they're for elephants. I'm going to sit with these leopard cubs a bit longer because it looks as though they're being playful again. In the meantime, let's go and find out what Taylor has planned for the rest of your morning.